What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys a kind of day in the life sort of thing, so that way you guys can see what it's like to own and take care of 8 fish tanks and sort of my maintenance routines and how long that kind of takes me. So yeah, just wanted to take you guys along with me through the process of caring for all of my fish tanks. Now, I don't know about you guys, but my maintenance routine starts off with a nice cup of coffee. I feel like it is a good way to treat myself before all of the cleaning begins. So I'm going to go ahead and start off the maintenance right here with this 2.5 gallon. So I will say that this tank is probably my most low maintenance out of all the fish tanks that I have, which is nice because when you have so many fish tanks, having these low maintenance ones like these really just make it more bearable when it comes to maintaining them all. But this one is a no filter setup, but there's very minimal waste in this tank just because all I keep in here are 2 shrimp. So the majority of my maintenance on this tank is just brushing this hardscape right here and cleaning the algae off of it. And I probably only do a water change on this tank like every 7 to 10 days. So like I said, very low maintenance tank compared to some of the other setups that I have. When I'm doing my maintenance in these tanks, I try to keep in mind that I'm never going to get the tank perfect, so instead of aiming for perfection, I just try to get the tank as clean as I can and then go about my day and, enjoy my tanks, because when you get too dialed in to trying to maintain a specific look, it almost, for me anyways, personally, gets to be obsessive. So yeah, personally, I've had to learn that lesson myself. Now I'm just going to drop the water to about 50%, because like I said, there's no filter in this tank. I'm also going to clear up some of this shrimp poop that's just sitting on top of the sand. A little bit more than half, but it will be okay. Now we can go ahead and fill it back up. The shrimp are like, whoa, why'd you drop the water so low? So I'm not quite tall enough to hold the water over and pour it and not make a big mess, so I have to stand on a chair a lot while doing my maintenance. So just like that, we have our first tank done, and it didn't take very long. Literally took me like 15 minutes. So these Nano aquariums, as you see, are definitely a lot easier and take way less time than the bigger tanks that I've got set up. So this tank right here, I actually just did maintenance on earlier this week, a couple days ago. So I'm not going to be doing maintenance on this tank. So we can go ahead and jump on over to the next one. Though I can still give you guys a little bit of a view of this tank and how it's doing. I did do a big chop on all the plants that were growing immersed. All these plants back here that were growing immersed over here. So it looks maybe a little bit empty right now, but the tank is still doing really well. So for this guy right here, we're going to be doing a little bit of a trim on the Monte Carlo, the carpeting plant right here. And just a little sneak peek. In the next video, I am going to be doing, I think I mentioned I was going to do it this video, a tank setup for Caridina shrimp, but my tanks didn't get here in time. So here is just a little sneak peek of one of the plants that I will be putting in that fish tank. So, like I had mentioned earlier, I had every intention of filming the tank setup video for the Caridina shrimp, but it just didn't happen because I couldn't get my tank on time in order to film it, and I was like super stressed out about it and wasn't sure if I was even going to post a video this week. And then I thought, you know what, I'll just do some maintenance on my tanks and film that, and maybe if anybody else watching this is stressed, because I know just the time of season that we're in anyways, like people tend to be more stressed out. So hopefully if any of you guys are stressed, this video can help give you just a little bit of peace in the moments that you are watching it. So that's going to go ahead and do it for the trimming portion of this tank over here. I'm going to go ahead and get a net and scoop out all of these pieces of Monte Carlo that are just floating on the top of the tank. I also want to clean the glass real quick, even though it's not very dirty. So I'm going to do a little bit of a water change on this tank as well, taking about 20% out of this tank. I am going to give the filter media in here a little rinse because, as you can see, it is pretty gross. And I'm just giving them a quick little rinse in the tank water that I just took out because I don't want to kill any of the beneficial bacteria. You wouldn't want to do this in a sink faucet just because, you know, there's chlorine and stuff in there. So it's best to rinse it out in your tank water. So just doing a little rinse. It's not like a deep clean or anything like that. So second tank down, and now on to the next. So before I could actually get started on the next tank, I had to dump my fish tank water, and I don't know about you guys, but I like to dump it in my garden, just so that way I don't feel like I'm wasting it and just pouring it straight down the drain. And then next, I filled up my 5-gallon tub with RO water and then added some remineralizer. So in this tank right here, I know it doesn't look like it, but I did just do a big trim on the moss last week. So today all I'm doing is a water change and cleaning up some of the leftover bits down here of moss that I did not get in my last change. So this one should go relatively quickly. Well, I forgot to hit record, so regrettably you guys missed me spilling water all over the floor and inside my sock while trying to fill up this tank. All right, and tank number 3 complete. So on my 20-gallon long tank, I am doing a very light maintenance session. I'm just going to be cleaning off the glass and then doing a little bit of a water change. And that is because I have decided that I am taking this tank down at the beginning of next year, and I thought about it a long time, and I've just decided, you know what, I have so much blackbeard algae that I've been fighting on these rocks, and I don't want to keep doing it anymore. So yeah, normally in this tank I would do a lot of cleaning of the rocks, but yeah, since I'm taking the tank down, I've decided I'm just going to start fresh with the new year, and hopefully, you know, things go a little bit better, because yeah, I don't know, I've just given up on this tank. Well, don't trust me to set a timer, because at least like once a week I am flooding this dang garage. So turns out I got another mess to clean. So this filterless aquarium over here and this 10-gallon tall aquarium, I actually did maintenance on both of these tanks the same day that I did maintenance on my 10-gallon shallow tank. So yeah, I shouldn't have to do maintenance on these guys for a few more days. Because yeah, I don't know about you guys, but the idea of trying to do maintenance on like 8 or 10 tanks in one day, like I just don't think I could get that many water changes done in a day. But everyone's different, and people like to do their routines, you know, to their own preference. So yeah, me personally, I couldn't do maintenance on all of these tanks in one day. But let's head on over to the last tank that I have to do maintenance on, and that is my 5-gallon tank for my beta. So let's go ahead over there now. So here is my beta's tank, and as you can see, it has its fair share of diatoms right now in the water it's dealing with, because the tank is still cycling. But regardless, the plants are not as happy as I would like them to be, and I was talking with a friend, and she let me know that because my light is only 15 watts, that's probably why the plants are suffering at the moment. So I did order a new light, and that should be on the way here in a couple of days, so I will be upgrading that. But for maintenance, I'm just using my toothbrush and cleaning up all of this weird kind of brown hair algae looking stuff. So yeah, I am hoping once I get a new light on this tank, the plants will start doing a little bit better. Fingers crossed anyways. So this plant here, he kind of unglued, well, he didn't unglue it, but he pulled it loose. So I'm just gonna take that opportunity to brush it off. I'm just gonna try and wedge it back in here. What I'm trying to do here is clean out some of that algae that is getting stuck in these plants down here. As you can see, all of this stuff floating in the water. And then I'm just gonna wipe it off on this towel and keep repeating this process. Same with these stem plants over here. I'm just gonna kind of twirl the toothbrush through them and clean off this algae that keeps getting stuck. So that is cleaned to the best of my ability, and now time for a little water change. I'm using a paper towel here to clean the glass just because my blade is a little bit too long, well rather the handle is a little bit too long for me to be able to get into this tank because of this cabinet here. So yeah, a paper towel is just a little bit easier when cleaning the glass for this tank. Alright guys, that brings us to the end of this video. Hopefully it was helpful. If any of you have any questions about maintenance or my maintenance routine specifically, just go ahead and leave them in the comments and I will answer those. But like I said, everybody has their own routines for maintenance, and I think personally the most important part is just sticking to your routine. Hopefully, if any of you guys were feeling stressed, this video was able to bring you a little bit of peace and help you relax, because I know the holiday seasons can be a little more stressful. So yeah, I am happy if I was able to help in even just the smallest way. In my next video, I am going to be setting up the Carradina shrimp this time for sure. Yeah, promise it will be the next video. So make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss it. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one.